Hey there, everybody! Welcome to the channel! I'm your host, Pubo Rama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into this week's deals and discounts for Grand Theft Auto Online. We actually have some pretty good vehicle discounts and a little good way of making money. It's not like a big bonus to a business. We're still waiting for some business to get double money, which Rockstar really has just not been doing. But we are going to be getting double money, at least on some stuff this week. But we're going to start off with the cars, and I'll break into the money at the end of the video, as usual. So, with that being said, starting off, we have the Sterling GT as this week's podium car. This is actually a really fun vehicle. It's fantastic in terms of the sports classics category, and what's even more fun about this vehicle is that you can turn it into a HSW vehicle if you play on next-gen console, making it one of the fastest HSW. It is 156 miles per hour, which is absolutely insane, and it makes it a very fun vehicle. We also have the Flash GT as this week's prize ride. This is actually a fairly expensive vehicle normally at 1.7 million. To get your hands on this vehicle, you need to place top 3 4 days in a row. That's actually not too bad, to be fair. I mean, doing a 5-minute race once every single day for 4 days is not too challenging, because finishing third should not be hard at all. You can literally do a race with a friend. Heck, you can join my Discord server and probably find somebody to do the race with. It should not be very challenging, and because of that, yeah, I think the Flash GT is actually a really solid pickup this week. Now we're going to move on to the 50% discounts, vehicles that are 50% off. There are 4 of them this week. Starting off, we have the Hustler. This vehicle is normally $625,000. It's fairly average in the muscles category in terms of lap time. Top speed is actually decent, but in general, nothing too special about it. But it is only $300,000, so it's not bad. You know, if you want to get your hands on a cool-looking muscle car, kind of a hot rod, not a bad shout at all. Next up, we have a very old vehicle, the Comet. Not like any of the special Comets, just the base Comet, which is normally 100 grand. This week, you can pick it up for 50 grand. The Comet is literally smack middle of the road in terms of performance. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. If you want it, pick it up. If you don't want it, definitely not something that I would consider buying for, 50 grand. We have the Blade, which is another removed vehicle, which is back this week. The Blade is, again, average. Its lap time is actually decent for the muscles category. However, its top speed is pretty low at 110. It's fairly inexpensive at 160,000. So this week with a 50% discount, you'll be able to pick it up for what, 80,000? Yeah, not bad. But again, I don't really think it's anything too special. And then we finish off with the Baller LE, which is actually pretty good for the SUVs category. And again, it's fairly inexpensive at around 150,000. So this week you can get it for like 75,000. I always find it very sad when Rockstar does these 50% discounts, but it's on vehicles that are super inexpensive. Why can't they give us a 50% discount on something that's, expensive? Then we'd actually be able to, spend our money a little bit more wisely. But hey, if you did want any of these vehicles, they are on sale this week. We have the Sultan RS Classic on 30% discount, and all the vehicles I'll be talking about from now on are 30% off. The Sultan RS Classic's actually pretty fun. It's not the best in terms of top speed or lap time, but it does look very nice. It has fantastic customization, and in terms of tuners category, it is the fastest tuner in the game. So, if you plan on, doing any podium vehicle prize ride wins, this is 100% the way to go. It's normally 1.8 million. If you have the trade price, 1.3 million. And yeah, if you can get that 30% off, you're looking at under $1 million. This is a really good pickup, as I said, especially if you plan on trying to get those prize ride vehicles. Definitely something I would recommend for you to get your hands on. We have the Brigham once again on sale. This vehicle was on sale all of the Halloween weekend. It was on sale before that. My guess is nobody wants this vehicle, and I can't blame you. There's really nothing too special about it. Apart from the Ghostbusters livery it has on it, it's not fast. Its lap time is absolutely terrible. And for the price tag of 1.5 million, it's overpriced. Even at the 30% discount at $1 million, I still really can't say that it's a good deal, so don't really recommend picking up the Brigham. Next up, we have the Patriot Mil Spec. Now, this is actually a pretty decent vehicle. It's normally 1.7 million. With the trade price, if you complete 15 security contracts, you can get that down to 1.3 million, and that's pretty easy to do. 15 security contracts. If you own an agency, I would highly recommend to do that. For 1.3 million, then with a 30% discount, that's more like 900-ish, $850,000. I think that's a really good deal for the mil spec. It's a fairly decent off-roader. The problem is, though, it doesn't have much ground clearance, meaning that it gets quite commonly beached. But it looks cool. It's got semi-bulletproof glass all around it. It has the explosion resistance to survive 10 homing missiles, 4 sticky bombs. In general, it's a very, very fun Imani Tech vehicle. It's probably one of the best vehicles to pick up this week, so definitely something to keep in mind. Another Imani Tech vehicle we should be talking about is the Obey Ominous EGT. I don't exactly know how to type that in. Yeah, there you go. The EGT is another great Imani Tech vehicle. It's an electric car, and for some reason Rockstar made it so that the electric vehicles are more durable than the gas-powered. So the Ominous EGT can survive 10 sticky bombs instead of the normal 4 from other vehicles. Not only that, but the EGT is incredibly fast on acceleration, and even though its top speed isn't great, it's still a very, very fun vehicle to mess around with. It's got good customization. It's normally 1.8 million. It has no trade price, so with the discount this week, you can probably pick it up for around 1.2 million. That's a really good deal. I do think the mil spec is a slightly better deal because it's cheaper, but the EGT is faster. It can, in general, drive a lot better. The mil spec is incredibly slow. I mean, the EGT goes 110. The mil spec goes 96. It's one of the slowest vehicles in the game. Its lap time is 1 minute 16 seconds. The Obey Ominous EGT's lap time is 1 minute 4. So realistically, you're getting anywhere you're going 20 to 30 seconds faster, depending on where it is across the map. Yeah, go for the EGT in most situations, but I do think that both of them are really good buys, and I'll probably be making a follow-up video on both of these vehicles later this week. Next up, we have the Drift Yosemite and the Drift Tampa. We'll start off with the Drift Tampa. Very, very fun vehicle. We can see it right here. I personally think the Drift Tampa is one of the most fun cars in the game. However, that's not the correct Drift Tampa. This one is. Drift Tampa sits at $995,000, which means at a 30% discount, it's around $600,000 this week. It's really bad in terms of performance. Like, its top speed is slow, and its lap time is terrible. But hey, it looks amazing. I think we can all agree it's one of the nicest looking sports cars in the game. I think it should have been placed in the muscle category, and it would have made a little bit more sense because it kind of is a muscle car. But yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, it's in the sports category. But the Drift Tampa is really not a vehicle you're going to buy due to its performance. You're going to buy it because you like the look of it. And I do think it looks really, really cool. So definitely something to keep in mind. Next up, we have the Drift Yosemite. The Yosemite is all right. It's got a trade price of $980,000, and you have to complete the casino heist as a leader with that trade price. But if you don't have the trade, it's still 1.3 million. So you're looking at least a $900,000 price tag for the vehicle at normal price. The Yosemite's pretty good on lap time, 16th out of the 80 muscle cars, and it has a decent top speed for the muscle as well. Not only that, but it has some really, really cool mechanics like air suspension. So when you actually press on the gas, it rises from the ground, which is really, really cool. It's fun to have some drifting in. It's got great customization. I think it looks really cool, and overall is a very, very fun vehicle to mess around with. So, not a bad shout this week, especially for being pretty cheap. We've the Cleek Wagon, which is terrible on lap time, terrible on top speed, and fairly expensive, even with the trade price, or not the trade price, even with the discount this week of 30% off. Just don't buy the Cleek Wagon, unless you really want to get a wooden vehicle in your garage. I can't really say much of a reason to get it. We have 2 final discounts this week. Starting off, we have the Nimbus, which is a jet, a pretty useless jet. It's normally 1.9 million. You can get it for like 1.5 million this week. I don't see a reason to buy this when there are flat, better jets for a fairly inexpensive price tag. I mean, hell, you can get your hands on the Rogue for cheaper than this vehicle, even with the discount this week. And the Rogue is faster, it has missiles, it has an explosive MG, it has flares, it can survive explosions. Do not get your hands on the Nimbus. It's a waste of money, a waste of time. To finish off, we have garages. I don't know why I was typing garages in. Yes, garages this week are 30% off. Any garage. Now, that's not properties, it's just garages. So if you wanted to get your hands on a fairly inexpensive 10-car garage, you can do that this week. I should also mention, when it comes to double money, we have 2 different ways to get some extra cash this week. First of all, if you complete 3 FIB finales, you are going to be able to get your hands on an extra $100,000. And if you get any payphone hits done, you're going to be getting double money. Payphone hits are actually a pretty good way of making money, as we know. So, getting your hands on I think a base payment of a payphone hits 45,000, and there's a 10-minute cooldown. So you can make 90,000 this week every 10 minutes from payphone hits. So if we do 90,000 times 6, that's actually what, $500,000 just from payphone hits? That's a lot of money, surprisingly. So yeah, payphone hits are a great way to make money. I would highly recommend to partake in that. And that's about it. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below as always. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.